How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mm, I'm typing something in the chat. Mm. All right. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I wanted to talk about something a lot of people don't talk about. Some people think vegan diet and alkaline diets are the same thing. They're definitely not the same thing. So I kind of wanted to speak on that tonight. So I'm gonna let a couple people join in. I'm gonna let you all ask a couple questions if you got them before we get started. But alkaline versus vegan diet, which one is right for you? That's the question of the night. Where y'all checking in from? I would like to see where y'all checking in from, so that way I know what time it is where you all at. Where you all checking in from? How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? It's always an interactive class when I hop on. So please, if you got the opportunity, respond, chat, let's talk. I get on here to teach, to educate, to see who I can help, who I can inspire, right? And a lot of people don't talk on these topics when it comes to what's best for our community. They always tell us you should do that, you should do this, but why? Why is one better than the other? Why should you choose alkaline over vegan or vice versa, right? Because I didn't necessarily say which one. I'm going to get into which one, but I want all, let's see here. I want you all to understand it's not about being perfect, and it's not about having the perfect recipe. It's about actually having somebody walk you through the journey and understanding why this diet, how that diet, how do I get back in tune when I fall off the wagon, right? So right now we're talking about what's the best diet. Somebody asked the question, right? And it goes along with what's the best diet. Somebody asked the question, can you be alkaline and vegan at the same time? So yes, you can be alkaline and vegan at the same time, because first, let's go with what does it mean to be vegan, right? Don, I seen your question. Send me a message, Don. Don Breeze, send me a message, bro. I don't want to get off topic. Don, I seen your message. Send me a DM. I don't want to get off topic. So when we're talking alkaline and vegan, right? What does it mean to be vegan? Let's start with vegan, because most people have heard of vegan before alkaline. If you heard of a vegan diet, can you raise your hand? It's about 20 people. I'm on two different screens. So if y'all see me looking back and forth, I'm on two different screens. We in two different chats, right? So we got about 20 people in here. How many of you all have heard of a vegan diet? Most people have heard. All right. Dread Beauty said, I am vegan, right? So that's why they're asking, can you be vegan and alkaline at the same time? So most people are raising their hand. Yes, 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 they heard of vegan. How many of you have heard of an alkaline diet? Right? How many of you have heard of an alkaline diet? All right. So when it comes to vegan, most people know that vegan is just staying away from meat products, right? No animal products. And if you're extreme vegan, you're not wearing no animal products. You're not putting no cosmetics on as byproducts of animals. If you're a true vegan, you stay away from byproducts of animals, right? And if you're dealing with the alkaline diet, you're dealing with foods that promote alkalinity, right? And if you know what alkalinity is, it's anything above 7 on the pH scale, right? So high alkaline foods, foods that's high on a pH scale. Why would somebody want to have a pH diet that's higher than 7? Does anybody know? Why would somebody want to consume an alkaline diet? Since we were just speaking of alkaline, why would somebody said I am alkaline? I'm glad you're in here tonight. Why would you want to have an alkaline diet? Let's see. Somebody says to promote health and healing. Okay, what does that mean? Somebody else said toxicity. All right. Why do we want an alkaline diet? And it's a fad right now. Everybody's talking, be alkaline, be alkaline, be alkaline, right? What does that mean? Yes, it means to have high pH foods, potential hydrogen, right? It's how your cells are able to read certain things, breathe certain things based off the hydrogen levels, right? So a lot of people are saying if you have high alkaline foods or foods above 7, or if I'm consuming an alkaline diet, I'll never get sick, right? If I consume a high alkaline diet, I'll never get sick because I won't have any acid in my body. How many of you all have heard that? I want you all to understand how this works, right? Because a lot of time we listen to people on social media and we have no clue what they're talking about. A lot of times you follow trends when it comes to eating, and it's going to make you sicker than what you thought you were going to be if you followed the trend. I know people who alkaline and don't even know what it means, right? Somebody says conduct electricity. Yes, the hydrogen electrons, right? Somebody says because when you don't eat alkaline, the foods you won't getting enough minerals and other nutrients you need, right? So do you have to be alkaline to get minerals and vitamins? Can I just be vegan? Can I just be vegan and not be alkaline, right? Because what happens is, watch this. What happens is a lot of us don't know how to sustain the trend and we fall off, right? And you end up going back to your old habits. Because if I ask anybody on either chat, right, what's better, alkaline or vegan? Y'all just tell me in the chat what's better, alkaline or vegan. Or if you say both, say both. You don't got to spell out both. Alkaline, vegan, or both. You can be vegan and alkaline. We have alkaline vegan diets, right? They're very hard to keep up, but there are vegan alkaline diets. So what do you think is the best diet? Vegan, alkaline, or both, right? Depends on what your body needs. That's what the homie just said in the chat. Depends on what your body needs, right? I feel like I can be alkaline without being vegan. You can. You can be alkaline without being vegan, right? And it was just uproar on the internet because Dr. Sebi's son ate some bison. Many of you all may have seen a video of Dr. Sebi's son eating some bison, right? But then he posted a video of his dad saying that bison and other meats are potentially alkaline, right? So can you be alkaline without being vegan? See how this gets confusing? Many of us don't know what it really means to be alkaline. Many of us know what it means to be vegan. So let's dive into that, right? And I want you to know the perfect diet is right in front of you. The perfect diet is right in front of you, right? Because yes, we need to eat more alkaline foods. Yes, you need to eat more alkaline foods. But most people cannot sustain an alkaline diet, right? If I ask you right now to get in the kitchen and whip up some alkaline foods without using chat or without using a specific person who cooked alkaline foods cookbook, how many of you all can go in the kitchen and cook alkaline foods? How many of you all can go in the kitchen and cook alkaline foods if I just said, hey, you got to be on an alkaline diet to save your life? How many of you all can get in the kitchen and whip up alkaline foods? If you can, besides the one or two people who said they already been on an alkaline diet. Most people can't. So as a nurse, how many of you all, this is your first time on my live? We still got about 20, 30 people on here. How many of you, this is your first time on my live? And I want to show you how important it is to follow people who have your best interests. All right, Miss Gwen raising her hand. This is her first time on my live. We got Desiree raising her hand, first time on the live. Who else? First time on my live, right? Miss Patricia. All right, first time on my live. So if this is your first time on my live, welcome, first of all. I am the Morris Chef. I have a bachelor's degree of nursing. I've been plant-based, or what I would call cellular intentional, since I was about 14 years old. So about 30 years, I've been eating plants and focusing on my cellular health. I'm currently a private chef for professional athletes. I am an author of a book, Cellular Health 101. I got some copies around here somewhere. This is what the book looks like right here, right? And I have a bachelor's degree of nursing, was a cardiovascular intensive care nurse, but I left the hospital to teach people how to stay out of the hospital by eating right, understanding health, and understanding how certain things in the kitchen can correlate to a healthier lifestyle, right? So that's what I try to do. Most people don't understand you cannot outwork a bad diet, right? I don't care how often you go to the gym. I don't care how hard you work out. You cannot outwork a bad diet. If you're dealing with diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, arthritis, any type of disorder in your body or disease, right? Medication, a Band-Aid. Food is going to fix it. Lifestyle is going to fix it, right? But if you're trying to fix it, right now is so much information that have most of us confused. Most of us confused on, oh, I hear alkaline. I hear people saying eat this. I hear vegan. I hear people say eat this. But most vegan people, I love you all, right? If you call yourself vegan. But I don't like you all, right? Because a lot of vegans know what to stay away from, but they don't know what to actually run to, and they're making themselves sicker, right? Vegans will tell you, I don't eat meat. I don't eat this. I don't eat that. But then when you asking, where do you get your selenium from? Where do you get your manganese from? Where do you get your pantothenic acid from? Where do you get your absorbic acid from, right? And I said these acids specifically because some of you all know, I think it's vitamin B5, pantothenic acid. Vitamin C is absorbic acid, right? Somebody says, so which one is it? Which one is better? So listen, every Thursday I teach a class community class is open to everybody. It's on Zoom. I take them off of these platforms so we can really talk. Every Thursday, I teach a community class. This Thursday's topic is 7 keys to a perfect diet, right? Because none of these diets is right for you. And I'm about to tell you why. None of these diets are right for you. And I'm about to tell you why. And it should be 300 people in this chat and not 30 people in this chat, right? But I'm going to tell you why none of these diets are right for you. Can you all do me a favor and put in the chat some of the diets that you all have heard of? Put in the chat some of the diets you all have heard of outside of vegan and alkaline. And I'm going to show you some. I'm going to hone back in on vegan and alkaline. But I want you all to put some of the diets that you all have heard of in the chat. All right, y'all must be sharing it out because we're getting up there. We're up to about 40 people, right? So share this chat out. Share this live out with some friends who you know are interested in eating better. Share this live out with a couple friends who are interested in eating better. All right, so we got a lot. We got plant-based diets. We got paleo diet. We got keto diet. We got raw diet. I did that for a while. And a lot of people are naming these diets, but how many people, somebody said, I've only tried Mediterranean diet. So you tried a Mediterranean diet. You said you were on a raw food diet, but that didn't last, right? You all also named blood type diet, South Beach diet, Whole 30 diet, Atkins diet, pescatarian diet, carnivore diet, right? We got the alkaline diet, the vegan diet. So my next question would be, we all heard of all these types of diets. If we all have heard of all these types of diets, and for you all who don't know, paleo is based on Paleolithic hunter-gathering foods, no grains, no legumes, no dairy. Atkins, very low carbs, high protein fat, phase to reduce carbs slowly. Carnivore, animal-based. You got raw food, uncooked, unprocessed, often plant-based. You got pescatarian, vegetarian, fish, seafood. You have Whole 30, 30-day elimination of sugar, grains, dairy. You got Mediterranean, which is plant-forward, healthy fats, seafood, moderate dairy and wine. You got Ayurvedic. You got macrobiotic. You got flexitarian. You got low lacto ovo. You got keto. You got detox diet, breatharian diet, fruitarian diet. All these damn diets. And we still sick, right? All these diets and we still sick. How? Why as a community, and especially you, and if this is your first time on my live, I'm very sarcastic. I'm very blunt. I used to be a drill sergeant in the military. So a lot of my engagement may come off blunt, but as you join my live and you scroll my page, I'm here for love. I hear because I love you. I hear because I care, right? You all may hear my 10, 11-week-old baby in the back, right? My wife's about to scream out, she's 12 weeks. She's 12 weeks in a couple of days, right? But I get on these lives because I love you all and I care. And I want you all to understand there's a lot of information, but you have to make it make sense for you, right? You have to make it make sense for you. So the reason why I say the alkaline diet is bullshit, you want me to tell you why I say that? You want me to tell you why I say the alkaline diet is bullshit? I gotta know y'all still here. I may just get off live if ain't nobody here. Who want to know why I believe, in my opinion, the alkaline diet is bullshit? And I know stuff like this hurts people's feelings, right? Stuff like this hurts people's feelings, right? But I'm not saying, so please don't take my words out of context, right? I'm not saying that you should not be eating alkaline foods, because most of the time when you're eating alkaline foods, they're less processed, they're closer to nature, and a lot of them are ancient fruits and grains and things of that sort, right? So yes, you should be eating foods that are naturally healthy for your body, right? And when you're eating naturally organic and naturally alkaline foods, your body can receive those minerals and vitamins a lot quicker, right? Or quickly. So, yes, eat alkaline foods, alkaline fruits. But do I believe in an alkaline diet? No. Because most people, when you see people saying, I'm alkaline, you always see them with that alkaline water, right? You always see the alkaline dieter with the alkaline water. And at one point in time, who remembers the 9.8, the Mark Wahlberg water? Y'all remember the Mark Wahlberg water? It was like 9 point something pH, right? What aspect of your body has a pH of 9? What organ system of your body runs off of a pH above a 9? If you understand your body and your blood components, your blood is about a 7.3 on the pH scale, right? Which is slightly alkaline, right? Your blood is slightly alkaline. So yes, you should be eating alkaline foods, because your blood, which is outside of water, a lot of your body's makeup, but it carries your nutrients and vitamins, right? So yes, you want your blood to be alkaline because you don't want your blood having to work hard in its environment to create this homeostatic environment, right? If you eat a lot of acidic foods and your blood is starting to slip, your blood is going to have to work harder to maintain that alkaline environment, right? But just say, for the people who think that alkaline diets are the way, just say your body is your body, because you're drinking alkaline water, you're eating alkaline foods, you're doing alkaline rain dances, you doing kumbaya circles with alkaline folk, right? But taking away certain foods can pose a risk, like imbalance. So you have all these alkaline foods that you're pouring into your body, right? But what about the acidic aspects of your body? The alkaline, people don't talk about those. You know, your body has amino acids that are needed for your body. That's an acid, right? Your body is full of amino acids. DNA. What is DNA? Deoxynucleic, I forget. Yeah, deoxynucleic acid, right? DNA. Acid. And then you have what other acids we got in the body, right? We got amino acids. We got body need vitamin C, which is an acid, B5, which is an acid. Um, um, it's a lot of processes, right? In your stomach. Your stomach is full of acid, right? Imagine eating food and drinking alkaline water, right? Imagine eating alkaline food and eating alkaline and drinking alkaline water at the same time, right? You're going to mess your stomach up. And not in the sense of if you do it here and there, but think about it. Your stomach is like a 2 or 3 at the most. Your stomach is very acidic. Why would you keep pouring all this alkaline juice into your stomach? Right? And not saying your body's not going to work to repair and fix itself, but it's not that complicated. Right? You don't have to, for me, I don't buy into the alkaline diet. Like I said earlier, a lot of vegans know what to stay away from, but they don't know what to run to, right? So I teach people how to take seven everyday simple aspects of their life, right? Create a lifestyle around these 7 keys, and you should be able to sustain that for the rest of your life. If you're dealing with disease, high blood pressure, you're dealing with diabetes, you're going to another country and don't know how they eat and where or where you're going to get your food, you living in a food desert, you don't know how to cook, I show you how to create the perfect diet with 7 key elements that everybody should know and learn. Because watch this, I'm going to give y'all something. I'm about to give y'all something. Three types of diets that you should ever be on, right? It's simple. Because once you understand the 7 keys, which I'm teaching in this Thursday's class, right? I don't want to give the 7 keys away too much because literally I got a whole class built around it. PowerPoint slides and everything, right? Matter of fact, I was doing some work on it before it came. This is last week's class, right? We're doing the same class. So I'm working on a whole class, so I don't want to give too much of it away, right? So please join my Thursday's class that you can get off my website, right? But when it comes to dieting, yes, I'm going to teach you the 7 keys. Most people do not sustain diets for more than 3 to 6 months, right? Most people do not sustain diets for more than 3 to 6 months. Most people who diet don't last more than 21 days, right? Most people who diet don't go past 3 to 6 months. And of those people, many of them don't last 21 days, right? So you would have to diet cycle after cycle after cycle to heal your body and get to where you want to go. And just say if you're dealing with disease, or just say you're trying to work out, just say you're trying to lose weight. Just say you're trying to lose weight. I don't want to say the wrong thing, right? But you're trying to lose weight and you want to eat right, and you keep hearing about all these diets, right? And you go from one diet to another diet to another diet. You working out, you going to the gym, you getting frustrated, you seeing some results, you losing the results, you back at square one. Not saying that's you, but how many people know somebody who that is them, right? The reasons that happen are because you don't have the keys to build out the right diet. But once you build out the right diet, it's a circle that you should stay on and never get off. And the circle is maintain. That's where it starts, right? If you're doing well, the circle starts at maintain, right? You maintain. If you slip, you got to repair or rejuvenate. And if you maintain and you living and feeling vital, right? Then you go experiment. You may try to go alkaline just because. You may try to go vegan just because, but you know it's only going to be for a certain amount of time. And when you do, you're going to fall back to the maintenance 7 keys that I taught you. You're always going to land on the 7 keys because the 7 keys goes based off your knowledge, your morals, your proximity, and a couple other things. But once we start to build out your blueprint for you, because there's no said diet that's going to fit you. You could be told to be vegan, but your blood type may say you need meat. Then what? You say you want to be vegan, but your blood type says you want to be vegan. Then what? I mean, you want to be vegan and your blood type says you need meat. What do you do then? What do you do when you want to be vegan, but your blood type says you need meat? Dread Beauty say, I ignore it. I ignore it too, right? But now we may be dealing with vitamin D deficiency. We may be dealing with iron deficiency. We may be lacking protein in our daily intake, right? So now we ignored what our body needed, but we caused something else to happen because many, not you, Dread, but many of us don't have the knowledge to sustain the lifestyle that we're trying to create, right? Or you can just sit down and say, you know what? Morris Chef gave me these 7 keys that create the framework to the perfect diet. I'm going to take these 7 keys, right? And I'm actually going to lay out what it takes for me and my family to feel at peace with the way we eat. That's what Dread Beauty said she had to do. She said, I researched, I figured out what my body needed. I figured out morally where I was at. I figured out what I was going to say yes to, what I was going to say no to. And I created what was best for me. But I have an actual blueprint, a framework that I created that I'm teaching on this Thursday's class, right? So I'm going to get off live here shortly, but I want to be able to answer any of you all's questions because some of you all were asking questions while I was talking, right? A lot of people may have left, right? I have a question. Isn't age also an issue for what the bodies need? Doesn't the body change when getting older? Whoa! Excellent question. Excellent question, right? So the question for you all in this chat who may not be able to see it, isn't age also an issue, I guess, around dieting when it comes to what the body needs? Doesn't the body change when getting older? How many of you all are aging and feel like your body is changing? How many of you all are aging and feel like your body is changing? And yes, I hear women all the time say gravity done got me. After baby, they say, oh, my body done changed my whatever. I hear brothers after they get 40, they be like, oh, my testosterone shut down. I got a beer belly now. Like, I hear my brothers over 45 talk about my circulation ain't right. I can't, right? Yes, because of, sadly, the way America has created its healthcare system and the food health matrix, the longer you eat the shit food, the quicker your body will break down, right? So imagine if you have a car, I have a car. We're going to say a Honda. If you have a Honda and I have a Honda, you maintenance yours, I don't maintenance mine. What's going to happen to my Honda? Right? Our bodies are the same way. As we age, I don't believe our bodies break down per se, right? I believe as we age, we become nutrient deficient. I believe as we age, our bodies don't necessarily break down. I believe as we age, our bodies become nutrient deficient, right? And I say that because if you ask most aging people, they can't tell you the minerals and vitamins their body needs to sustain itself. That's why I talk about vegans respectfully, right? If you're on a vegan diet your whole life, and granted, if you're on a vegan diet your whole life, you should know protein combos and where to get certain minerals and vitamins, right? But what happens is you still need a balanced, well-rounded diet, especially as you age, right? Because as you age, your body's going to work a lot harder. Because, like someone said, you're not moving as much, you're not losing as much. You're only giving so many breaths to process oxygen and nutrients from beginning. So depending on how you breathe is how your body uses these nutrients. And a lot of us ain't breathing right, right? So it goes back to a holistic approach. But the simplest thing you can do is focus on getting the most minerals and vitamins through everyday food. Somebody asks, is quinoa healthier than wild rice? It depends. A lot of quinoa now, because it has hit a commercial craze, right? It's highly processed. So you want to try to get organic quinoa. You want to try to get a tricolor quinoa with the reds, the purples, the brown or the gold, right? So that way you're getting more antioxidants and things. If you just getting some Dollar General brown quinoa, is it healthier than wild rice from the farmer's market? No. So you have to be kind of selective where you're getting your foods. You have to read the ingredients on the foods, right? So you have to always look. So for those of you all who are just joining, I'm about to get off, right? But please, I consume things like farro, fonio, kamut, econ. We have all different types of grains that we try to add throughout the month in the house. So yes, we use quinoa. Yes, we use wild rice. Yes, we use purple rice. Yes, we use red rice. But even me and where I'm at, being I've been on this journey for 30 years, I still have to evolve. But what I've done is I've been on the same diet for the last, I'm lying, rewind. After my accident, many of you all know, some of you all don't. I got hit by a drunk driver 4 years ago, 3 years and some change ago. I got hit by a drunk driver, flipped my car 6 times. 6 herniated discs, 4 bulging discs, torn rotator cuff, torn labrum, severed labrum, traumatic brain injury, scarring on my brainstem, all type of stuff from drunk driver that hit me the wrong way on the highway going 65 miles per hour. We both were, right? What I thought I knew then, I didn't know. I had to regather, regroup, relearn. But I didn't have to take on a different diet, right? I didn't try to follow the Sebi diet. I didn't try to follow the alkaline diet. I didn't try to follow nobody's diet. What I did was took the framework that I created when I was like 20 years old in the military training elite soldiers, right? The same framework that I use when I'm teaching professional athletes how to eat for that $30 and $40 million contract is the same framework that I'm teaching you all this Thursday, right? So that framework is the same framework I've been using since I was a teenager. That's what I started constructing when I started to first transition from eating meat, bacon, pork. My mom used to tell me liver was steak, all this other stuff. I transitioned, became cellular intentional, learned how to eat for the longevity of my life in my body. And when things happen, I hone in on my foundation, never deviating. And it has always brought me back to feeling whole. Do you all have any questions for me? Cellular intentional diet is what I say is always the best. Cellular intentional diet beats keto. Cellular intentional diet beats alkaline. Cellular intentional diets beat fruitarian, all these other diets, because no diet that I've stumbled upon, we named about 30 to 40 diets earlier, right? No diet that I've studied focuses on your body for a sustained period of time. You can't do intermittent fasting. Well, you can, but you can't fast for the rest of your life, right? You can be a fruitarian or raw vegan, but it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of experience, right? You don't have to do that. Just create your, I keep doing this, right? Because when you understand, like, you tweak a couple things, you get the framework, you tweak a couple things, and it fits perfectly, I'm telling you, into what you have going on. So you take simple things, expound on them, and that's how you get better. Every year, do not try to switch up and do a different diet. No, you have to learn. Get the book, Cellular Health 101, right? You learn the foundation, you expound from there, and I guarantee once you start learning to eat for your cells, your body got 100 minerals and vitamins, right? Once your body gets the 100 minerals and vitamins, you will be feeling amazing. But most people don't know how to get them. That's the diet I want you to focus on. Not the alkaline, not the keto, not the whole 30, a cellular intentional diet. That's how you get off the high blood pressure medication. That's how you beat the diabetes, right? Because once you focus on your cells, you're going to repair your body. You're going to fall in love with this journey, and you're not going to want to do another diet. You're going to be like, funding my cells properly has me feeling rich. Funding my cells properly has me feeling rich. And they say health is wealth, right? Miss Nia said, I'm signing up for next week's class, but I'm really looking forward to the truth about sugar. I got a different class every day of the week for the next 52 weeks. Every day for the next 52 weeks, I'm dedicating my Thursdays to the community. So if you know somebody who's sick, or if you know a community who's struggling, you got a church group, you got a women's group, you got a men's study group, all you all could come on Thursday's class, right? And it's a dope experience because we as a community get to learn how to be better. Do you all have any questions? It could be about anything. It could be about anything. Do you all got any questions for me? It could be about anything. I just gave a little rundown. If you just joined in on Alkaline versus Vegan, I don't subscribe to any diets per se. I don't like to put my clients in a box, because if I tell a client they got to be raw vegan, they're gonna do it long as I'm there, and when I'm not there, they're gonna be cheating. So my whole thing is sitting down and talking with you. You. I want to sit down. I want to talk with you. I want to see how I can help you specifically, right? Because once I teach you this framework, I guarantee you'll be able to teach it to others. You're going to walk around telling people you're going to teach them how to live because of the framework that I taught you, right? That's when you know life is good. When you could teach people how to live, you could teach people how to buy back time, you could teach people how to live their life and not feel like a vegetable, that's when you know life is good, right? Somebody asked me about blood pressure earlier, but I don't know if Don's still on. YouTube, y'all don't have no questions? I'm about to be out of here. YouTube, if you don't have any questions, I'm going to log off. I just want to say thank you all, everybody who joined, who always joins. If you haven't scrolled my YouTube page, please do. I'm going to be uploading more and more content. I'm going to be more and more consistent. But it's a lot of cooking videos on my page. So please check it out. If you have any questions, I'm going to put my website here in the chat so you can grab it. I got a couple slots left for July for coaching. If you need one-on-one coaching, I got a couple slots left. That's my website there in the chat. Y'all got any questions? Thursday's class are 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time are Thursday classes, and I'm hosting a different class. No, the classes are not on YouTube. The classes are on Zoom in a private room. The classes that we host are on Zoom in a private room. And the reason I do that is just say one of the first classes we did was on blood work, right? A lot of people didn't know how to get their blood work read. They didn't know where to get their blood work done. So ahead of time, they reached out to me. I gave them some information. They went and got their blood work read and they brought it to class. And I taught them how to read their blood work in class, right? So it's hard for me to do it on Instagram and on YouTube because it's not interactive per se. I genuinely love to talk and laugh and vibe when we in class, right? I want you really to leave my class like you've learned something. And sometimes we do exercises and people bring their health information, right? So that's why I don't always do those type of health classes on these public platforms. There's a $10 cost to the health class, right? And my wife is creating a package to where you can sign up and it'll just be like a subscription and it'll be half of that or whatever it is, right? But if you're bringing somebody to class, send me a message. If you're bringing your church group to class, send me a message so I can make sure I can get you all a discount code, right? If it's 10 of you all coming to class, I got you, right? But the cost is $10 and I did it that way on purpose. I didn't want to make it a $249 masterclass and I'm getting rich off my community. That's never my plan. My plan is to create a small investment to where I could pay the people on the back end who's doing some of the thumbnails or creating some of the flyers or creating some of the landing pages, thinking of that, things of that sort, right? So there is that cost associated with it, but I'm doing it every day every Thursday for the next 52 weeks. So 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I appreciate you all. And please go to my page and just blow it up. Blow up my page. Spam my page. Say, hey, I appreciate you. I love you. And I'm about to go make sure my baby down. So have a good night.